What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign come to your track.
We have commentators laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it locked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped themselves. Like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now. I can't laugh. I'm live right now. Let me let me get real serious real.
The Washington Mystics just put belt to ass on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Sonia Citron was out there cooking with hot grease. Stir the pot, stir the pot. Keep cooking, Sonia. That was a show. She put on a flat out show versus Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. Boy, did they ruin Angel Reese's homecoming.
Whenever Angel Reese steps on the floor, statisticians across the league instinctively tense up, and not in anticipation of highlight reels. No, it's the kind of tension that makes data analysts want to close their laptops and walk into the sea. In just her second season, Ree has managed the almost unthinkable, shooting a dismal 31.5% on layups. Yes, layups. While attempting the third most in the entire WNBA. It's a masterclass in inefficiency, a kind of anti-skill that defies logic. We're talking about a 6 feet 3 inches professional athlete missing point-blank shots at a clip that would have most JV players stapled to the bench. At this point, it's less like watching basketball and more like sitting through an avant-garde performance art piece.
The Chicago Bravado once again got their ass kicked. Angel Reese was so bad last night, the announcers calling the game, they were laughing at her performance. Check out some highlights for yourself. Well, KC, you always do this. You select a couple of bad plays and try to convince us that Angel Reese isn't a superstar.
The comedy practically writes itself. Against the New York Liberty, Ree gifted the basketball world a sequence destined for blooper reel immortality. 4 consecutive missed putbacks in just 12 seconds, 2 of them smacked away like she was scrimmaging against a brick wall. The footage went viral instantly, not as an inspirational highlight, but as the kind of clip destined for YouTube titles like When Basketball Isn't Your Calling, complete with clown music soundtracks. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is drawing comparisons to generational NBA talent and selling out arenas, without needing to miss 4 layups in a row to get attention. And yes, some defenders will point out that Ree's overall field goal percentage is a seemingly respectable 44.4%. But dig deeper and you'll see that most of those attempts come from 3 feet or closer. In the paint, where efficiency should hover between 70 and 80%, Ree is putting up numbers that make scouts rub their eyes and check the stat sheet twice. Layups for her aren't gimmies, they're slot machines. Pull the lever, hope for the best, and prepare for disappointment. The gamble hasn't just worn down fans and coaches, it's starting to spook Reebok execs too. And then there are the commentators, the poor souls whose job is to hype every play as if it's historic. These are professionals trained to make a routine free throw sound like a buzzer beater, but even they can't keep a straight face anymore. During a recent game, after yet another point-blank miss, one announcer let out an audible chuckle. Not the "she'll get him next time" chuckle, this was the stunned, "what on earth did I just witness?" When the play-by-play crew starts laughing instead of talking, it's not just a red flag, it's a 50-foot inflatable tube man flailing outside corporate headquarters, screaming,
With her dominant performances in June, she earned her All-Star selection. But these aren't just a couple of bad plays. These aren't bloopers. These aren't rare moments. This is the norm. The same thing happened last week when the Chicago Bravado got their ass kicked by the Minnesota Linkers. I don't have to convince you that Angel Reese has no impact on winning. Just look at her record, look at her resume in the WNBA.
Social media, naturally, is feasting on this. Fans are pumping out full-blown highlight compilations of Ree's most baffling misses, slow-motion replays, awkward zoom-ins, and circus music soundtracks included. It's evolved into its own subgenre of internet comedy. For Reebok, a brand banking on her to spearhead a basketball comeback, this is a marketing nightmare. Instead of buzzer beaters, breakout performances, and moments that sell sneakers, their star is trending for the exact opposite reasons. This isn't the kind of visibility that moves product. It's the kind that moves marketing executives to quietly update their resumes. If Ree were dominating on a winning team, maybe, just maybe, the chaos could be forgiven. But her Chicago Sky are a mess, limping along with a miserable 7-21 record. The on-court product is so lifeless it makes practice squads look like title contenders. They've dropped 8 straight, and when Ree missed 5 games with a back injury, they didn't win a single one. So here we are with a strange paradox. They're bad with her, and somehow even worse without her. It's like being stuck in a leaky lifeboat. You know it's going down, but at least it's keeping you from sinking all at once.
I'm no expert in math, but it looks like Angel Reese wins 1 out of every 3 games. If I remember correctly, Angel Reese has beaten a team with a winning record once this season. So you tell me how Angel Reese impacts winning.
Coach Tyler Marsh has done his best to spin the situation, but even his most upbeat quotes can't disguise the reality. This ship is taking on water fast. When your offense is anchored by a player whose most watched highlights are wide-open misses under the rim, you've got problems deeper than a thin rotation. And here's the kicker. Reebok didn't just sign Angel Ree, they bet the whole farm on her. Shaq personally stamped his approval, laying the foundation for a 2026 signature shoe launch meant to surf a wave of Gen Z hype. The flaw? That kind of plan only works if there's real, tangible success on the court. This isn't TikTok, it's the WNBA. Out here, botched layups and sarcastic commentary don't move sneakers. They just move your brand further into the punchline category. To make matters worse, Reebok CEO Todd Kinski went all in on the hype, comparing Angel Ree to icons like Allen Iverson and Shaquille O'Neal, insisting she could be a culture-changing force. It would be hilarious if it weren't so tragic. Shaq and Iverson didn't just shape culture, they dominated their era, earning influence through sheer excellence on the court. Ree, on the other hand, is producing stat lines better suited for a blooper reel than a Hall of Fame plaque. If she's changing culture, it's only by setting a new standard for what not to do in professional sports. The quiet doubts are no longer whispers, they're open conversations in boardrooms. Did Reebok actually evaluate her game before plastering their logo on her? Or were they so desperate for relevance that they grabbed the loudest name without checking the performance behind it? More and more, it's looking like a desperate Hail Mary from a brand chasing headlines over substance, one that's quickly turning into a multi-year, multi-million-dollar cautionary tale.
She had a good game, 22 points, 13 rebounds, but she shot terribly. She got bailed out so many times, throwing up brick layups, getting phantom foul calls from the refs. She did make 10 of 11 free throws, so that is good. 6 of 16 from the floor is not good at all. 0 of 1 from 3. She was a -11. Listen, man, Kiki Area Fan got the better of her.
The timing of Angel Reese's back injury couldn't have been more convenient for almost everyone, except Reebok. Let's be real. While no one should cheer for injuries, this one felt less like a tragedy and more like an unplanned vacation from the weekly circus. It wasn't just rest for her body. It was a collective breather for fans, commentators, and meme editors everywhere. Just when social media had reached peak saturation with blooper reels of her missed layups, she disappeared from the court. Poof, like a magician finally pulling off a trick worth watching. For Reebok, though, the pause came with an uncomfortable question. How do you sell sneakers built around a player whose signature move is missing open layups? Her absence also meant skipping a much-hyped matchup against the Indiana Fever, a game fans were either eager for or dreading, and not because it promised a thrilling contest. That would require both players to be in the same stratosphere talent-wise. It was billed as Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, a so-called rivalry that's existed mostly in Reese's Twitter feed. One player is rewriting league history. The other is struggling to finish layup lines. Reese sitting out may have spared the public from the most lopsided showdown since Goliath took a blindfolded rematch. From a business perspective, this is less about sports and more about brand misalignment. Reebok didn't just sign an athlete. They went all in on a full-court gamble with someone whose most consistent output lately has been blooper content. Endorsements work because fans want to buy greatness. Nobody puts on LeBrons to brick jumpers or laces up Jordans hoping to miss. The whole appeal is aspirational. Reebok tried to pivot the narrative, marketing her bold personality and unapologetic attitude. That might sell makeup or fuel a reality show, but basketball shoes? Shoes you buy to play better? You can't exactly slap a slogan on the box that reads, "Guaranteed to clank your layups like Angel Reese." That's not branding, that's grounds for a class action refund.
Great ideas. Wants to bring in talent to grow Reebok and have people wear it again because no one does. So one of his genius decisions was this. Fucking signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark.
If Angel Reese had a roster around her that could hide her flaws, maybe, this whole situation wouldn't be such a slow-motion car crash. But the Chicago Sky aren't just bad. They're practically engineered to put her worst tendencies on full display. With zero floor spacing and a playmaker who treats offense like an afterthought in between chasing rebounds, you get exactly what you'd expect. A team that scores less, misses more, and still manages to rack up highlight reels no one wants to brag about. Then there's Coach Tyler Marsh, who must feel like someone handed him crayons and wet paper towels and said, "Go paint the Mona Lisa." Imagine stepping into your first head coaching job only to be told, "This is your star. She can't finish at the rim, takes bizarre shots, and somehow turns every possession into TikTok fodder." That's not coaching. That's crisis management. And here's the kicker. When Reese sat out with her injury, the offense actually looked functional. Sure, they still lost, but at least it wasn't because their so-called franchise player was sabotaging every trip down the court. It was losing the old-fashioned way, without the unintentional comedy.
Tyler Marsh has this point forward thing on lock. Tyler Marsh has this Angel Reese point forward thing on lock. There we go, pushing the pace. Yeah, Angel. It's okay. It's okay. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. All right, here we go. We got an entry pass. It looks like it's going to be to Elizabeth Williams, and oh, goodness. Ugh.
Reese's time on the court has basically turned the internet into a 24/7 low-light marathon. Every game is fresh material for some high school video editor to slap circus music over her botched putbacks and churn out another top 10 missed layups compilation. These clips rack up millions of views, not because people are inspired, but because they can't look away. It's a modern basketball tragedy packaged as slapstick comedy. And yet, Reebok is still trying to sell her as the face of their brand. Here's the problem. When your entire value comes from being a viral punchline, the clock is already ticking. Social media chews up and spits out its stars at warp speed. The second someone funnier, flashier, or more embarrassing comes along, Reese fades into the background. Then what's left? A multi-year shoe deal tied to a player who never delivered on the hype and can't even ride the wave of ironic fame anymore. That's not influence. That's marketing quicksand.
She is so bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every shot that you take.